Sup guys, I'm Kel, Red Zone Rogue, and welcome to some more Echoes of the New World spoilers. I'm not gonna waste any time, let's just jump right in, because these are pretty sweet. We have, first up, the Swordsman of Fire, Ruler. Yep, that's right, we got another J Ruler spoiler for you guys today. This guy is pretty interesting, both in terms of lore and in terms of his actual mechanics. So he's a ruler, wanderer. That wanderer bit is fairly relevant in terms of story, and once again, in terms of his effects. He has a judgment cost of 1 fire and 3 of any. He has energize of a fire. And you may pay the attribute cost of wanderer resonators with will of any attribute. And wanderer resonators you control gain first strike. So he's got kind of this tribal wanderer synergy, which is really relevant into who this character actually is. And a little hint about that even is his flavor text. It says, "I heard Scheherazade's report. Seems I managed to arrive in time." And yeah, with that said, let's swap over to his J Ruler side. He is the Dimension Brigade's leader, Adalbert, or Adalbear, one of those things. He's a 1200 J Ruler Wanderer, and he has a giant wall of text. So let's break it down. So when this card enters your field, you may put a Wanderer Resonator from your hand into your field. And now there are a good amount of Wanderer Resonators in the spoiler, but we already saw one. The Valentina, the Crumbling Illusion, is a Wanderer, and that would be a great target for this, because she already costs like a combined total of 7 to play, and just playing her for basically free, not really free, you still have to do the Judgment ability, but in any case, I think that would be a really good option. And then he says, whenever a Light Resonator enters your field, put 2 +100/+100 counters on this card. Whenever a Fire Resonator enters your field, this card deals 500 damage to target Resonator. Whenever a Water Resonator enters your field, draw a card. And whenever a Wind Resonator enters your field, this card gains Flying and Barrier until end of turn. And whenever a Darkness Resonator enters your field, your opponent discards a card. So basically, anytime a Resonator enters your field, based on its attributes, he does a certain thing. So once again, taking that Valentina the Crumbling Illusion into mind, if you played that one, for free, basically, from his J-Activate, then you triggered the Water part, draw a card, and the Darkness part, your opponent will discard a card. So that's actually really good. That's pretty powerful. The J-Activation is pretty hefty, but there may be ways to mitigate that, and we will talk about those in a little bit. I think Adalbert is, I think he's a pretty cool card, and I think he might see some play, at least in some rogue builds. You can do some like cool Wanderer type stuff, or even then, just like some sort of turbo strategy and playing a whole bunch of dudes and getting all of these effects. I think that could be pretty cool. Also, I would love the flavor text. It says, "Time to get serious. Reflect, refrain, are you coming?" And then one of them says, "Is that alright?" And he says, "It's fine." And then say, "Really?" He says, "Really?" And that seems a little meta. Next up we have Scheherazade, Speaker of Yet Unknown Truths. Scheherazade is awesome. If you've seen my Scheherazade Wanderer strategy video, you'll know that Scheherazade was actually my very first ruler when starting out playing Force of Will. So she has a, she's very near and dear to my heart, I guess you could say. So I love Scheherazade. I think she's awesome. So this one, in fact, is a pretty good card. She's a super rare. She's an 800 for 3 wind. That's a lot of wind. That's a lot of one specific type. So she better have a pretty good ability, and she does have a pretty good ability. She is a wanderer, which is relevant. She has Will of Despair, also relevant. For the Book of Darkness, and obviously the Wanderer would be relevant for Adalbert. She has Quick Cast, and when this card enters your field, as long as this card is in a field, target Resonator cannot attack or block, and its controller cannot play its activated abilities. So basically this card just locks down another card, and it has Quick Cast. I think this is actually super good. The 3 of 1 type of will makes it very difficult to play, but I think Scheherazade is a fantastic card, and I'm fairly confident that it will see some constructed play. And 800 isn't like the easiest thing to remove, and the fact that you can just like quick cast it in, like surprise him with it, I don't know. I like this card quite a bit, not just because she is my girl Scheherazade, but because I think it actually is a legitimately good card. Next up we have Sun Wukong, Enforcer for the Future. He's a 500 for 2 wind. He's a Resonator Wanderer, which is once again relevant. Will of Despair, still relevant. He has Flying, so just stop right there. 500 for 2 with Flying is fantastic. Those are really good stats. And he's only an uncommon, which is really good. You will see that if you draft this set, you will see this dude all over the place. He's a fantastically statted Resonator. But that's not all. He also has another ability. When this card enters your field, return target non-Magic Stone, non-J Resonator card to its owner's hand, and that is not a may trigger. You have to do it. So if you're the only one with an illegal target, then you're gonna have to do it. So yeah, that could be good in some certain, you know, cases, bouncing something that you already have that's really good, like maybe Alice's World, or I don't know, something back to your hand. Alice's World is a card that lets you take an extra turn if you don't play Wanderer, or the Wanderer format. Or, you know, forcing something back to your opponent's hand. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would be super relevant. Shackles of Ice, I don't even know. Or maybe a Regalia or something, I don't know. In any case, I think this card is very, very good, very aggressively statted, and he will definitely see some play somewhere. The next card we have is a chant. It is called Words of Scheherazade. It only costs 1 green, or 1 wind. That's pretty good. And it says, search your deck for a Wanderer, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So this is just a 1-cost tutor for specifically a Wanderer. I like the art is like super cutesy, even Wukong in the background's like kind of cutesy looking. This card is okay for like the specific Wanderer deck. I imagine if you're playing like an Adalbert deck and you really want to get like, for example, the Crumbling Illusion Valentina before you J-activate, then, you know, maybe this could be good in that type of deck, you know, searching up the specific card that you need to do something awesome. So yeah, I think it's cool. I think it has some potential in, obviously, Wanderer strategies, and we have yet to see if those will be any good. Next up, we have a really interesting addition. It is called Interdimensional Space. It costs 2 wind will. It is, like I said, an addition. And it says you may pay 1 less to the judgment of Wanderer J-Rulers. You may pay 1 less to play Wanderer Resonators. And Wanderer J Resonators you control gain plus 400/400. So yeah, this card is all about the Wanderer synergy, which is going to be really good for Adalbert. Possibly good for some other decks as well. But I imagine it's going to be best in like an Adalbert style deck. Being able to J-activate early is going to be good for him, since you can do some really big tempo swings with that. Being able to play your Wanderer Resonators for less is, once again, going to be really great for doing some sweet tempo swings, and he just pumps them all up. So if there's a Wanderer deck out there, this card is definitely going to like be a key factor in it. Alright, next we have is Adalbert's Crossflame. It is a common card, which is good to note for you drafters out there. It costs 2 of any and 1 fire. It has quick cast. This card deals 800 damage to target resonator and each other resonator that shares a name with it. This is a pretty good removal spell for limited. It might see some play in constructed, maybe like some super secret sideboard tech, or maybe against turbo decks or token strategies, or something where there's lots of dudes with the same name. I think it's actually a pretty interesting card, and I think it's pretty good. I think it will see some play. Also, it looks really cool, so it has that going for it too. And finally for today, we have another super rare chant, and this one is really, really good, just like the Heteroclite Excalibur. So this one is called Severing Winds. It costs 2 of any and 2 wind. It has quick cast. If your opponent played 2 or more cards this turn, you may pay 2 of any and 2 wind less to play this card. So if your opponent played 2 or more cards this turn, you can play this for free. And what does it do? Cancel target spell. Holy shit, this card is so fucking good. Basically, if your opponent ever plays any more than, you know, 1 card on their turn, boom, free counter. They just counter the next thing no matter what. Or you can hold off, counter something better. Or you can put this in against like turbo style strategies that, you know, combo off and play a Gwyber, boom, you know, cancel their Gwyber. This card is really good, and it will definitely see play. You know, even at the very least, it'll see play in sideboards, but I mean, this is going to make waves in the Wanderer format. This is going to make waves in New Frontiers. This card is fantastic, and it will see a ton of play. It looks like they're really pushing the super rare chants. Both of them have been fantastic so far. We had a darkness one, now we have a wind one. I wonder if we will see one of each. I really hope so. I think that'd be awesome, and I got my fingers crossed. I'm really eager to see what the water one is, because water is one of my favorite attributes in Force of Will. And yeah, I have nothing else to say. I think this card is fantastic. I think it'll be worth a decent amount of money too, just based on how good it is and based on the fact that it is a super rare. And by a decent amount of money, I mean a decent amount of money in regards to Force of Will. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the newest Force of Will Echoes of the New World spoilers. They're getting better and better. This is once again one of my favorite spoilers to go over so far. Severing Winds is just a fantastic card. The Swordsman on Fire / Dimensional Brigade leader, Adalbert, he's pretty cool. I love Scheherazade, I mean always Scheherazade. So Wukong's fantastic. Adalbert's Crossflame is even pretty interesting, and of course, Severing Winds is just ridiculous. Tell me in the comments what you guys think of these spoilers. Do you think they're going to be as good as I think they are, or maybe not as good as I think they are? I think there is like a good amount of discussion either way, especially in regards to the J Ruler and maybe even Severing Winds. Maybe I'm overestimating it, but free counterspell stuff just sounds ridiculous. Anytime you can cheat card cost and play something for free, it's gonna be like very, very strong. I mean, just take a look at all the zero cost regalia. Even like the bad ones are still really good. And not bad ones, even the worst ones are still really good. That's what I meant. So anyway, if you guys liked the video, then maybe leave a like, maybe even subscribe. Every little bit helps, and I appreciate it oh so very much. Regardless of what you do, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time for some more Echoes of the New World spoilers. Also, I have a pretty sweet Wanderer strategy video in the works, so look out for that one too. I'll see you later, guys.